the lady who represented Kenya in Malaysia. Did I get it right this time around?
Yes, you did.
Yes, in Malaysia, not Mauritius. I've always wanted to go on holiday in Mauritius. But she was in Malaysia, and she represented Kenya in the Miss Tourism International. Yes. And her name is Namata. She only has one name. Welcome to the show, Namata.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have to share you, man.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you.
So, what up?
Nothing much. I'm excited to be here.
How's your morning?
It's awesome.
Okay.
I couldn't wait to wake up this morning.
Yes, why do you have one name like a car? You know, cars have one names and pets.
So, Namata is my artist's name. My legal first name is Jackie.
Okay.
And Namata is my Ugandan name. I'm half Ugandan and half Kenyan.
Okay.
So I figured as an artist, Namata was going to work.
I'm sure Tim Adele and Tim Shafi now, the pictures are coming up. You can see the chick. She's very beautiful and everything. And now they're wondering, when you bring in Uganda, how did you represent Kenya in Miss Tourism International and you're Ugandan?
Well, I lived in Uganda growing up a couple of years, but I've spent more years in Kenya than I did Uganda. So, there was the war, Idi Amin and the Obote and all of that. So we moved to Kenya permanently.
Okay, so when did you move to Kenya? Like, when
87.
So you're technically Kenyan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how was it representing Kenya in the Miss Tourism International? Can you tell us about the journey? How did it start? Has modeling been your thing from way back?
So I kind of stumbled on modeling. I always liked singing and acting. Okay. And then along the way, after you love yourself and appreciate yourself a little more, I kind of started to like modeling. Okay. So I'm a commercial model. I don't do runway. Okay. But when I came on vacation at the end of July, the opportunity showed up for me to put in for Mrs. Tourism Queen International in Malaysia. Okay. And so one of my friends reached out to me, was like, why don't you try this? They need you to, be married, have kids, and be a model. Mm-hmm. And they didn't have the specifications of a typical modeling pageant where they talk about the height and the size and stuff like that. Okay. So I thought it was a good opportunity.
Hold on, let me take you back there. So as in one specification to enter this particular event or this show is you have to be married.
Yes, it's a Mrs. title. So you have to be married and you have to have 1+ kids.
So why are you allowing me to just say Miss here?
I was going to correct you at some point.
It's a Mrs.
Yes.
So you have to be in a relationship.
Yes.
Okay. This is new. Okay, continue.
Yeah, so I thought,
So I'm not getting kissed, definitely.
Well, no.
Okay, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and for how long has this been happening? Because if it's for people, it's for people in a relationship. This is news to me, man.
Yeah.
So Tim Adele and Tim Shafi, if you're young at heart, if you're single like me and you're thinking, oh man, I can make it to Malaysia, I can represent Kenya in the Mrs. Tourism International, well, it can't work. You have to be in a relationship, you have to have a baby.
Yes.
Do they have a number of babies you can have?
As long as it's 1+.
1+?
Yes.
Okay. What about if you're separated?
No, it's not going to work.
Okay, if you're divorced,
it's not.
That's legal.
Work. It's not gonna work.
So technically, are you telling me there's someone somewhere who has come up with a pageant for women in a relationship, women who are married?
So when you think about it, there are people who get into modeling as singles, right? And they have the Miss titles.
Yes.
And that has been going on for many years. Okay. But what happens when, say, they get married or they have children? What happened is a lot of these people probably will not continue with the
modeling, yes, and entering the shows.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in order to be fair, because things change, your body changes and stuff like that when you become a mother and stuff like that. So I think to be fair, it made more sense to have a Mrs. title. Okay. And this is the first ever, actually, Mrs. Tourism Queen International pageant. Okay. They've not done the Mrs. before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, because I know for a fact, since 1994, we've had the Miss Tourism International.
Yes.
Is it the same franchise?
It is, but this is a separate...
it's a subsidiary. It's a separate, yes.
Yeah.
Wow. When you get back, you've educated me so much today, and when we get back, you'll have to explain to me a few things. You said you're not a runway model, you're a commercial model. I know it's confusing people.
Yeah, I'm gonna explain.
Because at the end of the day, I'm assuming it's all about the money, right?
Yeah.
You know what? If you have any questions for Namata, well, she is taken. Team Mafisi Maze, Miss Tourism International, and I didn't want to correct her. You know, it's that kind of a situation where like you're walking in town and then a guy's fly is open and you're like, you know what, you just walk past them. Yeah? Or you're talking to someone in an office and they have a booger on their nose and you're like, tattoo pressure. So, but you see, the joke is on me because, it is Mrs. Tourism International, and for you to be able to take part in this particular pageant is you have to be in a relationship, you have to be married, you have to have children plus. Yes. So did the lady who won have like many kids, like 15 of them, like a football team?
No, she didn't. I think she had one.
It doesn't like give you like more like points having more babies.
See, you just have to have a toy.
Yeah. Anyway, so you told me that you are not a runway model, but you're a commercial model.
Yes,
and you're not that tall. I can tell from when even you walked in.
Yes.
I'm sure you're wearing heels.
Yes.
So that is one of the reasons why you're not a runway model.
Yes,
because I assume that to be a runway model, you have to look like Tyra Banks.
Right, you got to be a certain
or the ladies,
5'7".
or the ladies of Victoria's Secrets.
Yes.
Are you wearing some Victoria? Anyway, so we were saying. So what is the difference? Can you just break it down for Team Adele and Team Shafi, who maybe seated there, dudes or chicks who want to, join the runway model or the commercial model?
So commercial modeling is more about your looks or whatever you may have that is different. It might be your fingers or your nose or your face.
Like my Vogue nose. Many people tell me that I can be a nose model. As an letter do.
Right. There's a mixture or your teeth.
Yes.
So they really don't care how you walk.
Teeth then.
There's a kwakutiote.
So if you have any aspect of your body or your of you that just stands out, that can make you money, you can be a commercial model.
Yes.
So like a VO artist, you can call them like a voice artist. That can be a voice model.
We don't have voice modeling, no.
Yeah, so you have to look dope.
Yeah, something. It doesn't even have to be dope. They also have BBW models,
Yes, I know the really heavy ones.
Yeah. So it
big
just can be anything.
Wide.
Right.
Yes, I mean it's big, busty, and wide. I don't even know what the BBW means. I know how to use it in a statement.
Right.
Yes, but I've never known what that abbreviation stands for.
Yeah, it's got to be something visual.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but for the runway model, you have to be. It's very specific.
It's specific. You got to be a certain size, height. Walk a certain way as far as catwalking is concerned. You can walk like a duck if you're a commercial model. Nobody really cares. They just want you to be able to show whatever it is that
you're representing.
Yes.
Okay, so talking about modeling, before that, can we talk about the 18-year-old you? What as in before you became a mother, before you even represented us in Malaysia? What were you doing? Where did you go to school? Yes.
So just to give a little synopsis, I spent a couple of years in Uganda.
Okay.
Because my parents were half Ugandan. My dad was Ugandan. My mom was
Kenyan.
Kenyan.
Yes.
So we spent time in between both countries.
Yes. In 1987, you moved here permanently.
Yes. Permanently. Yes.
Yes.
Growing up, I experienced certain things. As a 3-year-old, I was raped. As a teenager, I was also raped. But I was here in Kenya at the time. But also I lived in a home that had a brother that was an alcoholic. He was a troubled soul, I want to say. And at the time, my mother was not there because she'd gone to Rwanda for business and just didn't come back when the genocide happened.
Okay.
So growing up, I actually didn't feel beautiful. I don't want to say that, I always had this thing in my head, I'm so beautiful and I'm all this and all that. It's been a process to get to a place where you love yourself and you actually feel beautiful. And that's what actually inspired me to get into modeling. But I also knew that a lot of people who experience that feel that way about themselves. So if nothing else, I knew that I was going to inspire somebody somewhere with this story. I did a little bit of my primary schooling in Uganda, and the rest of it I did it here. I was actually in Aga Khan.
Okay, which one?
And
the academy or the other one up the road?
The one up the road.
Okay. Aga Khan Primary.
Yes.
Ile ya Watus.
Watus?
Yeah, Ile ya Watus. There are two Aga Khans. The academy where, anyway, bottom line.
Yeah. And as a teenager, when I had those things happen, because my brother was troubled and he was an alcoholic, I got to a place where I ran away from home because, you know, his friends were doing all kinds of stuff with me, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
So I ran away from home. And I actually had my first son at almost 18 years old.
Okay, so you left home when you were about 16?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because of all the drama and all the issues that came about with, just living with your old man.
No, it was my brother.
With your brother only? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was my brother.
He was older than you?
Yes.
Okay.
He was the third born.
Yes.
My old man and my mom had already divorced at the time.
And then your mom was in Rwanda?
Yes.
Okay.
So she went to Rwanda. She didn't come back home. So I just thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to run away.
You decided to survive. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all
the only
about
solution
survival.
was you taking off.
Yes.
So you took off when you were 16.
Yes.
And then what happened?
Then
you
I
got pregnant?
said, yes.
Okay.
It wasn't immediately, but
like 2 years
at some
after.
point, yes.
Yes. So when you ran away, where did you go?
I actually
people just hear about people running away. Where do people go? Like technically, do you have like a backup plan? Do you have a friend who took you in?
I actually did not have a plan, but the first place I went to was I used to hear about Baby Shark Band. If anybody remembers that band, Kinamasimaya and them.
Yes, long time ago. Yeah.
Right. So a friend of mine told me, if you want to sing, you can go to Andrew Crawford, and they have this band, and you can join. So I used to go there and try to like join their gigs and stuff like that. But as far as where I would live, Mercy had a cousin in Ziwani, or a friend in Ziwani, and I found a place to stay there. It was crazy. Like 2 nights I'm sleeping here, and another 3 nights I'm sleeping somewhere else. You're
technically house hopping.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I also
and you're
had
only
a friend.
16.
Yes. But I had a friend of mine that lived in Karen, and his parents were not home.
So you moved in?
Yes. He pretty much was like, what? You're homeless? Come. Just we'll give you a place to stay.
Okay.
So that's where I stayed. And by default, he ended up being my boyfriend.
Okay.
And I had my first son.
Okay. When you're
going
18.
on 18, yes.
And before all this, where were you guys staying? Because if you went to Aga Khan, that means you guys were like you're not doing very badly.
I think we were not. Yes. I didn't grow up
Before
feeling like
off.
we were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where did you stay?
Madaraka.
Oh, in Mada. Okay.
Yeah.
Dope. And Mada was dope then.
It was really nice.
Dope. Yeah. Everybody. I know people who used to live in Madaraka then. Yeah. Because I grew up in South Sea.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So you got baby, your son or boy?
2 boys. 2 boys. So my oldest.
No, I'm saying at 18 you got a boy.
Yes. Yes. And for me, even though I knew what people did not to get pregnant, for me, I had him because I didn't have a reason to live.
Okay.
I wanted to, commit suicide. I really felt like nobody cared. Yeah. Yeah.
It was you against the world.
Yes.
Yes.
So I felt like if I had something that I can love and that can love me and never leave me, because I felt like with the whole situation with Mom, she just like left and just never came back, again. So I wanted something that I could always have and loves me back as much as I love them. So I had him because pretty much I needed a reason to live, and it's the best thing I think I ever did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you still in a relationship with the same person?
No.
Is he the father of your second baby?
No, he's not. My husband is.
Okay.
We broke up when my son was about 1 year old.
Wow. This is the same person who gave you accommodation.
Yeah.
And so you got a baby, and then that relationship dies.
Yeah, because when his mother came back, it was so much drama.
Okay.
When she came back from outside the country, it was too much drama. And I thought to myself, I was like, well, I'm 18, but 19,
Time
I'm like,
to move on.
Yeah. I just didn't want to, I needed to change my story. I didn't want to resign to the fact that I was now a teenage mom and I don't have a future, and that's the end of it.
Wow. So you're 18, you're moving out again. Or you're running away again.
I'm leaving again.
And now you're +1.
Yes.
We'll get back to that story. I'm just throwing it back because you know what? I know it's not a Thursday, but it's Terrific Tuesday, and I have an amazing lady in studio who represented Kenya in the Mrs. Tourism International. And this was the first one, and she made it to the final, and she got an award for Miss Popularity.
Yes.
I wonder why. Because you have a dope story, though.
Yes.
And majority of Tibadel and Tip Shafi here on Twitter, they're just like, yo, Shafi, ameenda wapi tuendelee na hiyo story. So, mshene endele. 18,
So, so we broke up, and then I had to move out.
You have a baby?
Yes,
so
I have a baby.
You have to leave Karen because the mother of the house has come back.
Yes, with all kinds of wazimus.
Yes, pressure.
Yeah.
Mother-in-law.
So I had to go back home.
You it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, if you come and find that you have a grandson that you already knew about when you're not home, I'm not sure that.
There's some parents, Kenyan parents think like, we are confused mtoto wetu, wacha nirudi tu kwa taniona.
Because I saw your class.
So where did you go next?
So I had to go back home. I mean, where else was I going?
To your brother's house.
To the same place I had run away from.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I had to go back. The
but
difference
now you're
was
older. You're mature.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You're 18.
But I have a kid.
You have a baby.
So if I'm running away from, he was very violent, especially when he drunk. Mm-hmm. So I'm running away from him because he's violent, beating me up and stuff like that when he feels like it.
Yes.
But now it's not just me. I had to worry about my kid.
Yes.
So when I went back home, it was very challenging because of obviously he was still drinking.
Okay.
We were still fighting.
Okay.
And I didn't want to have the same experiences I'd had that had made me run away, which was his friends, goes and drinks, they buy him alcohol, and
then they come their way with you.
Exactly.
And they find you. Yes.
So I was worried about, even though it was not a female child, for me, I felt like I needed to protect my kid.
Okay.
And so we had a really bad fight one time. It was like super bad. And at that point, that's when I actually opened up and told it, my sister, like, this is what's happening in this house. I can't live here anymore.
She was older.
Yes.
Okay.
For a long time, I didn't tell anyone what was happening.
Okay.
So you're afraid for, of judgment and stuff like that. And then you also don't want to be burdening people.
Yes. Because everybody's struggling.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So at that point, the decision in the family was these two people have to be separated.
Okay.
So I moved to Tena.
Okay, Tena Estate. Farther in.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I moved there, number one, I had been offered a job by my ex-brother-in-law, and he worked at the airport. It was closer to get the airport.
Okay.
But also it was far enough for me to get away from my brother.
From your brother, yes, from Mada.
Yeah.
And that madness of the drunkard. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a job at the airport, and
you're a single mother.
I'm a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
The maths is coming negative. Of course, because I had rent to pay, a maid to pay, and stuff like
definitely.
that. So I worked for my brother-in-law, and I cannot say that it was all a bed of roses working for him, because it constantly reminded me, you're such a failure. Like,
well, did you have to get a baby at a young age? Okay.
Yeah, like you never amount to anything in life. But then unavumilia tu maze, lazima msosi.
Yes.
So at some point I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go and try at this embassy. Nasikiaga tu embassy.
American embassy.
So
how old were you then?
I was actually 19.
Okay.
Yeah. And I said, I'm just going to try. Worst case scenario, they say no, but I was not leaving my child behind.
Okay.
So when I got there, the person that I found, I can only say God intervened, because I only had 10,000 Kenya shillings in my account. And I'm saying I'm going on vacation and all of that. So long story short, I just want to say that God stepped in for me and my baby. Yes. And then I went to the States, and that was the beginning of life.
Okay, so you went to the States. Were you going to meet people there? Did you know people there? Or you just went to the States? Yani ile tuki shagala bagala.
See, I actually had an older sister. The thing is, when I was doing all this stuff, I didn't tell anyone what my plans were.
Okay.
So I surprised
your older
people.
sister.
Like people are not even ready. Like you coming, let alone you and a kid. Like the ticket. Where's that coming from? But I knew. For me, I just wanted to get there. I had a plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you went to the States, and that's when everything turned around.
Yes.
You started working.
Yes.
You started hustling for papers.
Yes.
And now your kid could go to a better school.
Right.
He's far away from all the drama.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I went back to school. I also decided that I was going to get into healthcare. I've done nursing leadership for long. I also did quality assurance and performance improvement in healthcare. So I've done leadership for a while, as far as healthcare is concerned.
So you've been in the States for how long?
20 years.
20 years?
Yes.
You went when your baby was like 2 years?
Yes.
That's why he's now 21?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And while you're there, you found love?
Yes. And I think it was the first genuine and open relationship where I could bring myself as damaged or whatever as I was. Yeah, and then I had another son. He's 11 now.
Okay.
So I have a 21 and 11-year-old.
You know, I rarely get people to come to the studio who beat me when it comes to, my kids' ages. but you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
I have a 13-year-old
who
also lives in the States with the mom, and then I have 4-year-old who's just called us. Jack, I'm scared. I have to call her before she goes to school. That's dope, man. That's very dope. Your story is so inspiring because you know what? You never gave up.
Yes.
You just kept on going.
Yes.
And then you decided to come back to Kenya and went and represented us for this particular event.
Yes.
And you got out with something.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's your story is so inspiring to all the young girls and, young ladies out there who are listening, because there's somebody somewhere who's going through the same stuff that you went through.
Yes.
They just need to know that, you know what, you need to wake up in the morning and just keep doing what you have to do. And also, you need to talk.
Yes.
Because things became better when you started talking.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes.
When you spoke to your sister, you moved to Tana.
Yes.
Eh? If you'd have decided just to bolt everything inside you, you'd have never even known kuna airport, ungejua story ya kwenda States.
Ningejua lakini singekuwa na mpango ya vile nitaenda.
So what advice would you give an 18-year-old who's listening right now?
So if you're going through that, or even if you're not, I just want to say that it's okay to speak. Find someone that you can speak to.
Open up, yeah.
Whether it's going to be, I don't know, your neighbor, your
friend,
your shopkeeper,
relative,
anybody. Just talk to someone, because it's hard to trust when you go through certain things. But it's also okay to talk to certain people. You have to feel safe to speak to people, but if you find someone to, even if you don't have a plan of how they're going to help you, they will find a way to help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I love it.